Hey friends, so today we're going to make a really pretty fall wall hanging, and I'm using this board that I got at Hobby Lobby. It measures about 8.5 by 8.5, and I am painting it vintage white by Folk Art, just giving it one good coat. I'm only doing one coat because I'm going to sand it lightly anyway, so it just needed one really good coat. And the wood pumpkin, leaves, and bird I got from Wholesale Decor and More. And the link to her site, Lisa is her name, will be below this video. So I hope that you'll check her out. She has some really great kits, and she does a great job, and she's great to work with. This pumpkin, this is the second one I've done a project with. It is so cute. It's a great size, and so I'm just starting out painting the stem burnt umber. Giving that a little bit of a dry before I paint the pumpkin. And I'm going to paint the pumpkin a chestnut color. And I love it. I was a little worried. I didn't know if it was just going to be too brown, but I think it turned out so, so cute. It's a good color for kind of more of a vintage, rustic looking pumpkin instead of the traditional bright orange. Had a little bit too much paint on my foam makeup brush, or not brush, sponge. So I had to dab some off, but now I'm just kind of spreading it out evenly and making sure it's on there smooth. And give that a good quick dry before I set it aside. Then I'll work on the leaves and the little bird. Just using a basic green paint for the leaves. Again, just using a little makeup sponge. I get those on Amazon, excuse me. And then I cut them up in little bits, and I love doing it this way. Then they're disposable. And some bigger projects I use paintbrushes, but on these little things I just like to use a little foam sponge. Now I'm painting this darling little bird. In this case, I'm thinking he's probably a little crow. Just basic black. I'm going around his beak really carefully because I'm going to put a kind of a mustard color yellow there on his beak. So now I just want to give those two items a quick dry, and then I will do his beak and then a little white dot for his eye. Just being careful to make a straight line. So here I'm just getting the teeniest little dollop of white paint using the end of a paintbrush, and it worked out perfect for his little eyeball. So now I'm going to sand this board so it's nice and smooth and the edges are distressed and roughed, and I like the more weathered, used, older look. So and now I'm just getting those lines between the boards that look like a shiplap. Swipe off all the extra dust there. I'm going to sand my pumpkin real well too. Smooth the top layer out, but also distress all those edges really well. Now I'm going to use my Tim Holtz Distress Oxide ink. This is such great stuff. You know, it works perfectly for paper crafts, but it works on all my wood projects too, so I love it. So I'm just really going around all the edges, making it look worn and used. Then I'm just kind of using the edge of my little dauber and going down those lines to give them more detail. Now on this pumpkin, there's little squiggly lines on on the pumpkin, and so I'm just kind of following those lines to give it the pumpkin detail. And I was a little nervous to do this. I don't know why, but I really like how it turned out. I'm really glad I decided to do this. And then I'm going to go around all the edges as well. Just gives it more definition, in my opinion. I just really like this look, but not everybody does. So if you don't, you just, obviously you can skip that part. Just kind of wiping it off and smoothing it out a little bit. So now I'm just deciding where I want to put my pumpkin. And I want to put it over to the left side just slightly because I'm going to put my crow on the bottom towards the right. I'm using a little E6000 to secure it on there so it doesn't pop off at a craft show or just wear. Then I'm lining up the bottom, making it completely flat with the bottom of the board. I just want just a tiny bit of Spanish moss on the pumpkin, just at the base of that stem. Get my little finger protector. And I'll trim that off in just a moment. Decided I better put a little bit of E6000 on the bird as well. Now, of course, hot glue. What would we do without our hot glue guns? Now I'm just trimming that up, and I'm going to glue my little leaves on there as well. And at the beginning, before I started this project, you saw me cut the string off, the twine off the board. So now I'm going to put new twine in there. I've got just a little bit left of my thicker twine. So I'm shoving it in the back, and then I'll tie a knot in the front, then decide just how long I want it. Cut it off and stick it through the other side and tie a knot over there too. Trim those up, and then I just kind of fray the edges a little bit. And then I printed off these Happy Fall tags. I've got a whole bunch in my Etsy listing, and that link will be below the video as well. I've got all kinds of fall sayings, pumpkin phrases. So I'm just bending it and scrunching it up and distressing it with my scissors, and now I'm using my distress ink on that as well. Just going all around it, making it look really used and worn. And I'm just going to stick that off to the side on the right. And then I've got some orange gingham ribbon that I'm going to just make a basic shoestring bow out of. Trying to decide where I'm going to put everything. And I'll trim those tails way down. So now I'm just going to glue that under that string there, and then glue the bow on top of it. And that is it for this project. Oh, no, it's not. I'm taking some thinner twine and just wrapping around my fingers, I think 3 times, wrapping it around the middle there and spreading out the loops, and I'm just going to put that right on top of the pumpkin. That just kind of finishes it all off for me. And I'll trim those tails as well, and that will be end of my project. Super fun, super cute, and easy to make, and I hope this inspires you to make something similar. Please go to Wholesale Decor and More and check out her wood kits. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support, and you have a whimsical day. Thank you.